He'll jump
That's
like
always
10
fun.
feet onto the couch. And, that stuff's like not as worrisome.
Is it not?
I thought that's what you
think
were
so.
worried
Definitely.
about.
Oh, okay. You're worried about him getting hurt, and he drops 10 feet from the second floor to the couch.
And that
makes sense.
Yeah, at least he's dropping onto
I
a
used
couch,
to do it, so
right?
it should be fun.
Yeah.
This is where I get frustrated.
Don't even open that can of worms.
Like horrifying.
Horrifying. Not allowed to cry or have emotions in your house?
Like, do you really need to know what Zemoglophicolate is?
Oh, Jessica.
Everyone has a favorite. Everyone does.
So, Jessica, hi.
Yeah. Hey.
We're going to talk about parenting today. Your favorite topic.
It is my favorite topic.
And about how people either parent the way that their parents parented or the opposite.
The way their parents parented them.
That's a lot of the word parent in one sentence.
The same amount of parents that you just said.
Yes, okay. So, I mean, what would you say for you personally? Do you parent the way that you were parented?
Negative. Opposite.
Okay. Elaborate, thanks.
So I was parented in a way that lacked boundaries, like emotional boundaries.
Right.
There weren't very explicit expectations. Lot of like just conflict, and I don't know, like timeliness wasn't a thing. Everybody was late to everything. And so now I think it's a great trait, but like super organized. Also, my parents I had really like impatient, low frustration tolerance, very reactive. And so I make it a point to do the complete opposite and like, not like teach myself, but to be like super self-aware of how my kids are reacting to the way I'm presenting.
Yeah.
I guess.
Can you like osmosis some of that to me?
Yeah.
I could use some of that, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I would say that I parent in a similar way.
Okay.
It's fairly similar.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I wouldn't say it's exactly the same because, like I have all of this training in child mental health.
That's another thing, correct?
Yeah,
same.
so like I think that has helped me to like hone what I'm doing and like tweak it a little bit.
And know what's like a priority and what's not.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that in certain ways, yes, I do parent. Like my parents did not spoil us at all.
You didn't
like,
have a TV.
Quite the opposite.
Oh, wait, no, you had a TV.
We had one, but it
4
didn't have
channels.
anything on it. Yeah. It was like the opposite of spoiling. Like we worked. There was no reward for the working. You just did it because you were part of the family.
Yeah.
They did not give us a whole lot, which I probably was pissed about at the time, and now I totally respect it and understand it and do the same with my kids. And there was like not a lot of coddling.
Meaning like via physical affection?
No, I mean, they were physically affectionate, but it wasn't like
I hurt my knee.
Yeah, it was
like,
kind of like, it was like, come on,
get up,
let's go,
rub
get
some
up.
dirt.
You
Yeah.
good, you
Throw
got
some
this,
Windex on it.
There wasn't like a whole lot of time to like cry and Oh, I knew you were going to read something into it. Like no matter what I say, you're going to read into it. Oh, tell me more. You're not allowed to cry or have emotions in your house.
I mean, I didn't say that.
But yeah, I would say it's similar, but like my education has helped me to like
what have you
maybe
tweaked?
make it a little bit better.
What have you tweaked?
I think my training allows me to like understand kids' behavior better and like where it comes from, which helps you to react not all the time, most of the time in a better way. And like my training has also helped me understand what's going on in my brain. And like that's something that a lot of people until now we have the internet so people can look this stuff up, but like up until now people didn't have access to that kind of information unless they went through a training like that,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Similar.
All right.
Not exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, we're also going to pick our guest's brain about this topic too. Today we have Phil Moseley. He is the owner of Blue Oak BBQ. I know you've gone, I've gone, the whole city's gone. Very popular restaurant here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He's a dad of 2 who are 4 and 1.5.
So he's in the weeds.
Yeah, he's in the weeds. I'm in the weeds
deep.
too. Well, you're in the weeds. We're all in the fucking
I'm
weeds.
like,
let's be real.
Just getting out of the weeds. I'm getting out of the weeds.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jessica, let's bring in Phil Moseley and let's talk to him about it.
Feels great.
Okay.
Phil, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Okay, so you own now 2 Blue Oaks, right?
Mhm.
Huntsville and New Orleans. How do you manage the stress of being a restaurant owner and a dad of like 2 under 4
Yeah, it's
and
tough.
married and stuff?
It's certainly tough. I mean, we're kind of in the thick of it right now. 2 under 4, expanding the business. I do think that probably if we would have had kids in the earlier days of just getting off the ground, like
Like with the
7, 8
restaurant.
years ago,
Oh.
it would have been impossible. I mean, to grow like we have and focus on the business, it certainly takes up an enormous amount of time, but
The kids or the business?
both. The business. Yeah, I mean, I think about it often. I don't understand how a lot of people in my industry
Have a family.
have
Yeah.
functional
families
family.
or big families or
Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all's
it's
hours
tough.
are nuts. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean our
Well-
industry, the restaurant never closes.
Yeah.
7 days a week. Obviously it
Oh,
closes at
literally.
night.
Okay.
but-
yeah.
7 days a week, it's one of those things when everybody's like out having fun. The industry, we are helping to produce the fun.
Yeah,
the
you're where
bar,
people are
the-
going to have fun.
Yeah, New
Oh,
Year's
and you
Eve
have-
and Christmas catering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sacrifices in the industry.
You have Avenue Pub too, I forgot.
Mhm.
Right?
Oh, wow. I didn't
We
know
do
that.
the Avenue Pub on
So now
St.
we have
Charles.
3. Yeah. That's a
Dang.
lot.
And a catering facility, commissary kitchen.
Oh,
What?
wow.
What do
Okay,
you mean?
so
what
like
is
you
that?
can't sit still.
Yeah,
You're not
Wait, what's
capable.
There's a lot.
commissary kitchen?
it's kind of like a production facility. So we do a lot of the bulk cooking there.
Oh, okay.
Big batches of baked beans and mac and cheese and
Mm.
stuff like that. And then we send it to the restaurant.
Oh, cool.
So what's harder, parenting
Mm.
2 small children or owning multiple businesses?
That's a good question.
What gives
That
you
is
more
a good
gray hair?
question, Lauren.
I think it's kind of an evolutionary answer, if that makes any
What
sense.
does that
Different every
mean?
day?
I think I think it changes with time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more time we've been spending with the restaurant, I mean, we've been doing it for 12 years, so we've finally gotten to a point
12
where
years.
yeah, since we started in the bar.
No, it has not been 12 years.
Yeah.
Shit. Time flies. Keep going. Sorry.
And one of the reasons we've gotten to where we are is because of the team we've surrounded ourselves with. We have an awesome, incredible team. So it allows us to, take that step back and
Be a dad.
yeah, alleviates some pressure and just physical time of like being there. Now we kind of count on a whole group of people to help the ship sail. So
You jumped from like one shitstorm to another shitstorm.
Yeah.
Now you're in the parenting shitstorm
Yeah.
with small children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like want another one.
Yeah, kind of,
Which means you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of it, but more than you said.
You just
like
come to
you're-
my house.
I
Just
know,
come to
go
my
to Lawrence.
house for like 5 minutes and you'll be like, oh, okay. Nope,
But it's-
I'm done.
But like you said, like you're getting kind of out of the weeds.
I am out of the weeds.
And like
Yeah.
because your youngest is almost 2.
Mm-hmm.
And give yourself about 9 months to a year and you're going to feel a little less in the
Little
weeds
weeds.
because that's where I am now. And
Yes.
it's
Yeah,
different.
I think it's all about timing and how things evolve. Like you're saying, I mean, there's different phases. Once you leave one, it's you kind of alleviate some of the pressure, stress from a certain thing, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're like jumping into a new phase, and there's more maybe worries about things you weren't thinking about. the
Bigger
things
kids,
your-
bigger problems.
Yeah. What's your biggest? I have 2 things. What's your biggest worry as a parent?
Probably like things out of my control are the biggest.
Like what?
Sickness.
Okay.
Getting
Oh,
hurt.
Bad things happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, getting
And
hurt,
then-
meaning like.
Car accident,
Okay.
or we do a lot of stuff with Hogs for the Cause, and
Mhm.
some of that stuff's just brutal to think about. The families
Yeah.
that deal with that.
Wait. Oh, I
Kids
thought you
being
meant. I
sick.
was like the
Yeah.
barbecue pit. What do you mean? I just got. I was like the supplies.
The reason for hogs for the cause.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Not
I'd say
insensitive.
that's probably like the strongest worries are the ones out of your control.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, all the other stuff is, you know, my son now is climbing to the top of the stairs and,
Oh, it's
and
so fun.
jumping
On the
off.
outside or the inside of the rails?
On the outside right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And he'll jump
That's
like
always
10
fun.
feet onto the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that stuff's like not as worrisome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it not?
I thought that's
I
what
don't
you
think
were
so.
worried
Not
about.
for me. Yeah.
Okay. You're worried about him getting hurt, and he drops 10
Yeah.
feet from the second floor to the
Yeah,
couch.
yeah.
And that's
That
fine.
makes sense.
Yeah, at least he's dropping onto
I
a
used
couch,
to do it, so it
right?
should be fine.
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Boy,
Okay.
but there's a big difference between my son and my daughter
Uh-huh.
What's the biggest?
with that kind of stuff. Being active and
You mean risk taking?
kind of cuckoo.
Yeah.
Climbing on the top of a car, you know, stuff like that.
I mean, she may get there.
She might.
You don't know yet.
You're right.
I mean,
Especially if she's watching him.
correct. Monroe, that's my 2-year-old. I mean, she bad in the best way. I love her. But she's definitely more of a risk taker than Rose is. Anyways, okay, this is a question for all of us.
Okay.
Okay, in your relationship, like with who you're married to, who has the lowest frustration tolerance
Ooh.
of the two, of you and your partner?
Mm.
Who wants to go first?
We are equal.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, no. Fine. But that's because that's interesting. And you're equal, but who is around more?
Me, but it's like starting to shift. Like it's
Oh,
almost
responsibilities are getting more-
We're almost equal now. Because
Okay, his frustration tolerance is gonna I think it's gonna
Yes, that is what's happening.
That it's equal, but the responsibilities are not.
Correct.
Okay.
But now that we're like, the amount of time that we spend with the kids is
Yeah.
getting more even,
Uh-huh.
and so like his
You gonna
frustration
see-
tolerance is going down. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
You want me to go while you think? I feel like you're distracted though. Anyways.
No, you know, I don't know. I keep going back to like having so many variables.
Well.
Like if I'm alone with the two of them, which I'm not often,
Mhm.
Emily is certainly with them two a lot more than I am by herself. In the beginning, it's easier now with time, but in the beginning it was very frantic for me.
Yeah. Well, it's frantic for anyone. when
Yeah,
they're that
that's
way.
not like
Two
that
small
doesn't.
children. That's just frantic.
Yeah,
That's-
it's just, and take the kids out. You take the kids out of it. Who has a lower frustration tolerance to stress, or like overwhelm?
It's probably me because I'm stressed. I have outside stress, which is another variable impacting, you know, some of the. And it's all depends on the day, right? I mean, if I get home from work and like there's a total shitstorm going on, or you know,
Capacity.
Screaming.
I'm already walking in with like kind
At
of a high
100.
level of
Yeah.
stress and my mood's a little off. So if, you know, he starts beating up on his little sister, I might tend to be a little meaner
Yeah.
or raise my voice
Yeah. You
quicker
freak
than
the
I
fuck
would.
out. That's okay.
You know, if I was calm and everything was fine that day and let's talk
What would
about
you say?
it. And,
Okay, what?
know.
Okay, worst, terrible day. Walk in, whatever, like bugging the shit out of his sister. What's your response?
Like if I
No
was at him
one's
at, like,
also like
the
disclaimer. No,
extremes,
yeah,
Yeah, no.
like no one's
I'd
judging. We
probably
all
like
do
pull
shit.
him in the other room. I would yell at him first
Okay.
and regret it later. And then
Yeah.
I'd pull him in the other room and try to explain, you know, why that's not bad or why that's not the way you're supposed to do it. You know, I think if I was calmer, I would attempt to explain it in front of her, maybe.
Why are you explaining? What are you explaining?
Explain-
I know, now I'm
explain-
gonna.
Here we go.
I know,
Jessica's
yeah.
about to
Well,
critique
just
your
kinda-
parenting.
No, I'm not.
Kinda
I'm
ex-
just.
I mean, I think explaining why, you know, he's supposed to be protecting his little sister, not
So this is a cultural
being-
thing, I think. But keep going.
maybe, I don't know. And not being the one that is acting, you know, mean. Which is going to happen. And I understand that.
I
Like
think.
every,
I mean, you know,
in every
Well, I know what.
aspect.
like siblings, like fucking with each other.
Oh,
Mhm.
You know, I
that's
mean,
normal.
Correct, and
It's
developmentally appropriate.
Frequent.
I mean, it's not like great. It's not
It's not what
pretty
I want,
to see, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
but it's
like,
also the norm. That's
And,
just what
and
happens.
sometimes too, it's something somewhat innocent, you know, like snatching a water bottle out of her hand.
Yeah,
You know, sometimes it seems like it's coming from a
intentionally
meaner
punching
place.
or-
Mhm.
Yeah,
like he's trying to hurt her.
yeah.
But you know, I mean, I understand. it's gonna happen. I mean, it happens in life even without siblings.
Yeah.
But
Okay, wait. So what is it like? Because you said earlier you're an only child.
Oh, yeah.
What is that
Oh.
like, being an only child, never having experienced that growing up, and then
Mhm.
parenting children who have a sibling?
I think it's pretty awesome to watch. You know, I think I always wanted a sibling, and I kind of got one a little bit later in life. One of my cousins from Brazil came to live with us, and he went to high school here for a year, and that got us really close. I was about 7, and we're still we call each other brothers to this day. But it's cool to watch like how they evolve and how they like feed off each other, whether it's like good or bad. It's fun to see like the older one do something and the younger one starts to kind of mimic it, or even if it's just like learning or words. You know, it is cool to watch. Like you have a partner in crime.
Yeah.
You know, from day one.
Yeah.
And you know, I think at some point I'll probably try to, like, speaking of discipline or whatever, I'll continue to reiterate. You know, and I do it now that we are one family, and you know, the cliche "family's all you got," but you know, it is true. And that's kind of how I was raised, because both my parents, we had no relatives in the city.
Oh, wow. So y'all were like a little island, huh?
Yeah. And then half my family is in Brazil, my mom's entire side. So that was pretty, you know, instilled in me, not necessarily from my parents, but something I just kind of meant something to me, that family is real tight.
And like every family culture is different, which is like a big part of my practice. So like if your family culture means like we all protect each other, like this is not how we communicate anger, jealousy, annoyance, whatever. Like I wouldn't, like, yes, I could be like, well, here are all the reasons why like that's not effective. And if that like value system is a value system, like to its core within the family culture, then it's like, how do you tweak it to align with that too?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But like, since you were an only child, is it like difficult to navigate like the sibling?
No, not at all. It really doesn't even cross my mind. You know, like you were saying, values I think are important. And you know, to be honest, I think like everything else they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like the whole rivalry and you know, like the listing why you shouldn't be doing this or why you should be doing this. I mean, you know, I think it's natural that we like pump it into them, into their brains all the time. But whether it sticks, especially now, I mean, I don't remember anything from when I was like 4 years old.
I mean, honestly, they ain't listening to you, honey.
No.
I think it's
They're
more
not. They tuned out.
Yeah.
kind of like the environment you're in and how you, I guess,
Produce
put
your
them in a
system.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
we focus a lot on positive reinforcement, and when they do something good, we're like,
Blowing it up.
we're their biggest cheerleader, stuff like that. Which I think is more of like a, not something they're going to remember. It's more of a feel and how they're going to kind of grow up, I guess.
That's that is something that I can't. It's like God, what is that? It's like when it's like constant exposure, and then it becomes, you know.
What
Kinda
are you
becomes
trying
like
to
your-
say?
your
I don't know
thing.
what
Like,
you're
okay,
talking-
like
when
if
you
it-
internalize
like if
it,
that-
is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
like I guess like your expectation isn't that like he's processing and like thinking about every word that comes out of your mouth, and your point is that you're hoping that the more he hears it, it's going to be like ingrained,
Yeah,
and like
into his,
becomes
like,
part of who he is,
conscious
or
and, like,
part
yeah.
of who
Yeah.
y'all are.
His ego,
I think at the end
whatever.
of the day, it's just the positive reinforcement knows that we love him and his sister. You know,
Who's
we're
your
always going to
favorite?
be there to support.
Oh, Jessica.
Everyone has a favorite.
No,
Everyone
I don't
does.
have one yet.
It'll change.
I think maybe in high school I'll have a favorite. Not yet.
You're lying. Everyone, it could change by the day. You have a favorite.
But
I
it
know.
does change.
I know, but today, who's your
someone told
favorite?
me, I can't remember who this was, some parent, like a long time ago when I was still young, was like, you know, there's a totem pole in our house. And sometimes you're at the top,
Yeah.
sometimes you're in the middle, and sometimes you're on the bottom. And he's
Yeah.
like, and it changes all the time.
Yeah.
But it depends on the year and
Yeah.
the circumstances.
I think I
still think everybody has
and I don't know if this is a thing, you guys study this stuff, but at least for me, with a wife that was breastfeeding, as the male husband, I didn't feel as connected with the baby until much later.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, the phases, then they start really kind of attaching to the other one or me in this instance. And then they start interacting and having more fun, and y'all know how it goes. I mean, in the beginning, it's almost like every month changes pretty drastically.
Every day.
Yeah.
So as they get more and more fun and like attached to me, then the whole dynamic changes, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like it's kind of sad. Like now it makes me sad that I have 2 boys. The older ones are boys, and then I have a girl at the bottom. And my boys are definitely more into my husband now, and it makes me like really sad. Like, I feel like when I leave the house, they're just like, they don't even say bye. They're just like, bye, bitch.
Especially if they're like into sports, I would think.
Oh yeah, they're always playing sports with
is.
him. They're like, if he's gone, they're always like, where's dad? Where's dad? We miss dad. And I'm like, do y'all fucking miss me when I'm gone?
Monroe
I know my
says that
daughter
shit
does. She loves me so much.
Yeah.
She's like my boo.
Monroe is obsessed with Rick. I mean, it's fucking annoying. I'm obsessed with her. Like, I am obsessed. She is a potato.
It's like unrequited
and
love.
I just want to pop her like a pimple. Like, she is so fucking cute. And, like, anyways, but she's fucking obsessed with Rick. And there's nothing I can do. It'll change.
That changes too. And it comes and goes, Like, for a while, I feel like my daughter was, like, really into my husband. And, like, now she's kind of back onto me. And I know, like, when she becomes a teenager, she's probably going to hate me and she's going to love him. That's just,
but,
like, how it goes.
when he's not, like, she's like, where's daddy all the fucking time?
She does really love him.
Yeah.
They have a special bond.
Of what? What do you mean?
Saying daddy. Where is he? Where is he?
I guess.
Because he's gone a lot.
Yeah,
and I'm never
actually,
gone,
that's why.
Yeah,
Or maybe
I'm always
because
there.
you have the answer
To what?
to where he is, and she's just curious.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah,
Maybe
that's fair.
that is
That's fair.
I mean, I do think too much. So that's a very, like, I should think like that.
Yeah.
And she's asking where it is.
A literal,
She's just curious.
a very literal
Is he outside?
interpretation of it. Yeah.
And I'm like, not.
There's no
They're curious,
symbolism there.
Yeah.
It's just literally
Yeah.
mom knows where dad physically is at that point in time.
This is actually true. That makes me feel better. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's why I'm
Okay,
here.
wait, Jessica, you
What?
never answered the question.
I know. Well, y'all.
Yourself.
Oh.
Who has a lower frustration tolerance?
Rick.
I was going to,
Yeah.
Yes,
Like, I
would say
can
that.
sit. I'm, like, patient to a fault. Like, it takes a lot to get me. Like, it has to be, like, the worst day ever. I'm pissed at Rick. I'm, like, week 3 in my cycle. Like, I spent too much money. Like, it has to be, like, the perfect storm it's when we're in the car. If we're on a long car ride and it's, like, I think we've talked about this. It's because it's enclosed and, like, the sound ricochets or whatever.
The
and
car
I get,
brings
like,
out the worst in me.
the sensory thing.
Ugh,
And so, like,
fucking worst.
it's like when one's whining, then they stop, the other one starts whining, and then they stop. Then the other one stops. And that's when, like, that's probably my big trigger.
At least they don't whine at the same time.
They do.
Being in the car with my kids is like, I want to
Blow my-
like,
yeah.
Yes, it's torture.
Yeah.
It is torture.
The fucking whining. And it's not, like, I don't mind crying. I don't mind.
Right.
It's, car, where's my car? I want my car. I want my car. Shut up. Oh, my God. You have one next to you?
You know what we have now? We have a wine chart on our
Oh,
fridge. And
that's
if you
great.
whine for something, it goes on the chart. You don't get it the rest of the day. Done.
Like it.
Yeah.
Just
But then
Like that.
brutal parenting.
that's great. But, like, that's not going to stop them from, like,
No, it doesn't
whining.
stop them from whining, but it stops us from having to listen to their fucking
Because they know
whining.
the answer. Don't ask again.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah.
They care about it.
Okay, wait. Weren't you also, since we talked about only child, you were an only child for a while, huh? Ish?
Yeah, until I was 12. And then I had, like, 5,000 half-step
Right.
people in my life. Yes, correct. But I was.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there you want a question?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
just like the
pick
same
it.
question for him. Like,
What
do you
was
feel
it?
like that has, like, how has that been parenting children that have a sibling? Like, since you were kind of an only child for a while.
How has it been? Like, how has that, like, influenced the way?
Like, yeah, that or just, like, trying to understand, like,
Dynamics.
Dynamics, yeah.
I think it's similar to what Phil said, and, like, to add an extra layer, it's like, yeah, you always wanted like a sibling. And I had so many like halfsies and steps that had siblings. Like I didn't feel like complete, I guess. It was like I had a relationship with Lauren, but like whoever, but they were biological siblings. So I always kind of felt like I was on the outside.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of them, and that's great. And like to this day, I still feel like I'm on the outside.
Yeah.
So I think I love, and like who knows, they may grow up and fucking hate each other. Like I can't.
Yeah.
And in my idyllic brain, they're gonna like be besties for the rest of their life, and they're just gonna cuddle and laugh. And like I just think that's a bond. That's just a bond that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like that is like unconditional love. Be there forever. Like even more than like a partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a
like,
totally different relationship.
It's totally different. Like you share biology.
Yeah.
Wait, that's right.
Yeah.
Genetics.
And like shared experience.
Yes.
And,
Yes. And it's like not, so like, okay, let's say, I mean, like I went through some like serious family, like my personal
bullshit
family.
drama,
Bad stuff. And like, trying to communicate that experience to my partner, or like when a perspective was given to me, it's just not like, it's so different than if there was a sibling involved.
Yes, who also lived it.
Yeah,
with you.
right. And if that sibling gave a perspective, it's like you would respond differently,
right,
than to a partner or a friend or whatever that gave a perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what.
Yeah, that was a great answer. I don't remember the question, but it was a great answer.
Yeah, I just like love it. But it's hard to, because the sibling, like, so Rhodes used to like sit on Monroe. I mean, sit on her, laugh, like LOL, drag her. And he stopped doing that. Now he just like takes her night-night and he's like, whatever. But they're like becoming friends. And so it's an interesting dynamic where like Monroe could be fake crying, real crying, and 2 seconds later be laughing at him.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I thought you were mad. Like, I can't keep up. Like, who do I?
My sister and I used to like have drag out, pulling hair, hawking loogies at each other, and then like 5 seconds later, what do you want to do?
So that's confusing to me as a parent, because it's like, what? Like, do I? Like, are y'all gonna figure it out? Like,
you do. They figure it out.
But like, do you
intervene?
Yeah, or be like, don't like give her night back. Like, whatever.
I know. I feel like I'm trying more and more with my kids to not intervene.
I know, same.
You know, unless it's like dangerous, which unfortunately it frequently gets dangerous with. Well,
you have two older boys too.
Yeah, and they're rough. They're really rough.
Yeah.
And they're rough with their sister, even though she is a sweet little princess angel.
But that's why she's like,
yeah.
She's so sweet,
and she goes along with it all the time.
Yeah.
But I try not to intervene. Huh?
I'll make her stronger.
Oh,
right?
she's gonna
tolerant.
be such a bad bitch. Like, you know, no boy's gonna F with her.
No.
Because she's like, I've been through this.
I think that's like a younger, because all of us have younger, the girl is the youngest.
Yep.
And I think there's something to be said to have an older brother.
Yeah.
Like, she not gonna take nothing.
No.
And like, she gonna beat your ass up.
Well, and like, they may also beat asses up of people that F with her. You know?
Yes,
like,
I don't know.
They're going to beat her up, but then when someone tries to mess with her, they're going to beat them
I
up.
think it's going to be up.
My 4-year-old does that.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody bit my daughter in school, and I guess she was trying to spit out the name of who did it to Emily. And I can't remember the name. I won't say it anyway.
Yeah.
But
rat him out.
And then my son was like, well, where is he? I'm going to that classroom.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm going to beat him
love
up.
that.
And he's like 4.5. I was like, good.
That's
and,
great.
You know,
so cute.
It's one of those situations where it's like,
well, but
what am I supposed to say here? But in reality,
but that goes back to your values. You know what I mean? Like, you're
good,
like
go do
ingrained.
that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Like, so.
I don't think I'll ever not, when it comes to stuff like that, I'll.
Yeah, it's like defend
Turn
yourself.
a blind eye.
Hell yeah.
Go do it.
Yeah.
If you need my help, let me know.
Yeah. I'll come and beat up that 1.5-year-old.
Monroe's going to beat up people who fuck with Rose. Like that. Like, he's the more vulnerable one.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll surprise me. But I think she's, like, she already got in a fight at school over a swing with a boy.
Good for her.
And we have a question from Robin F. She writes, for the love of God, all I want to do is poop in peace. I feel her. Is that too much to ask?
Yes,
I feel
it
like
is.
every time I sit down to blow one out, I'm suddenly having to give the matinee
Robin.
performance in the smokers lounge like I'm Frankie fucking Valley at the Lucky Club Hotel and Casino. I got like 3 waffled up 4-year-olds and a half dozen dogs all inquiring about my every push, all because I had a single sip of coffee. Not a question.
Yeah, that's a fact. And also, I don't know if the men have this problem.
They
It
don't.
seems like a mom problem.
It is a mom problem.
Men
Rick's
get to do this in peace.
He also locks the door. I'm like, fine. Like, he starts locking the door so the kids can't come in.
We
I
don't
mean,
have a lock.
how old? Under 4? I mean, I just leave the door open. If
Yeah,
they
but
come
are
in,
they
it's like,
bothering
whatever.
you? No, they
No.
bother your wife. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
Monroe's like,
They'll come up and like try to throw toilet paper at me.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I'll just like move along.
Yeah.
Nothing to smell here.
Yeah.
there's a lot to smell there after all that mac and cheese and baked beans. Yeah, I feel like it's a mom problem.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
But
it is.
I don't know that. Also, this is another audience member who I can't address a question that's 150 words. So Robin, this is something I want you to
Condense your
look up. It's called
questions,
Economy of Language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
I
Thanks
thought-
for listening.
I thought it was Robin S.
F.
The,
Well-
the singer.
Who's
And I got
Robin
really
S?
excited. You got to show me love.
Sing it more.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, maybe we'll
Pardon?
just play it in the background.
No, say it. No. Finish the lyric.
It's
I
kind
know
of
what
like
song
a,
you're talking about. It's like an
you
80s song or something. Yeah. You got to show me love.
Bullseye. It's great. We should
What's
play
the
it.
next one?
That's
When
all
the
I got.
credits
That's it.
roll,
That's all I got.
We're going to play Robin
The
S. Show
only,
Me Love.
Yeah.
only song I know. I mean, the only
Robin
words I know
S.
to that song.
Okay. Blue Oak.
Plug yourself.
BlueOakBBQ.com has all the links you need.
30
That's it.
minutes to spit out 7 words.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, all the stuff.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Phil.
I got off Instagram personally.
Good for
but
you.
Blue Oak's on there.
Good for
Blue
you.
Oak's on there.
You probably weren't on there anyway.
No.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Is that it?
That's it.
Jeez.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Little Brain Campaign.
Please like, subscribe, and follow.
See you next time.